good morning, you two. We up and bright and early, out in the middle of freaking nowhere, somewhere new. Got a citation yesterday for being overweight. I had a feeling I was overweight, and hey, I haven't had one in a while, so got to deal with it. You know how that is. Well, fellow truckers know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. Um, hey, how you doing, Mike? Before I started, I was reading what Michael Farmer came in and left a message, and he right. I mean, I mean, you can't beat what my man said. He right. All right, I got a lot to shove in here. Hopefully, I'll get my point across. And once again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Host has no idea what he's talking about. He just likes talking and likes doing. Okay, so if if you take something personal, that's on you. It was not meant to be a personal attack on anyone or anybody. And first and always foremost, let me say this: I do not condone violence any of any fashion. Okay, so if that is thought, I apologize right now, so that you will understand that I do not condone violence of any any form or fashion, because I was brought up in a very violent household. Try to make a long story short, um, my mother and father would fight. In the last my teenage years, we became the embarrassment of our neighborhood. It was literally the embarrassment of the neighborhood, because when my mother and father fought, it was like the freaking Dukes of Hazzard. Uh, a prime example: if my father would try to leave, oh no, you're not leaving. He would get in the car and take off, and my mother would she would jump in the other car and literally ram him like you're not going nowhere. And they were literally Dukes of Hazzard, bashing the cars up, going up and down the daggone road in our neighborhood. Fights would spew out into the front lawn. Um, my father would beat my mother, something fierce. Um, and I was the youngest. I was literally the youngest in a house of, let's see, what, three, four, a house of five kids, a total of eight, but five lived in that house. A house of five kids. They all would come to my mother's rescue. Um, this happened all the time. And one day I came home, and because I was the youngest, I loved my father. I thought, he was the world, but didn't understand what the heck was going on. One day I came home and I seen blood all on in the living room wall. My father had beat my mother and chased her out the front door, butt naked. And the neighbors took her in. And you know, I don't say this. I don't tell this story to be bragging, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to let you guys know where I'm coming from with this. Um, I'm not with beating on a woman and all that, and it kind of messed me up for my first marriage. That's another story. Um, but I'm not with that type of violence. And I snapped, and I tried to hurt him. I found him in a bar, and my brother caught up afterwards. My other brother, and I tried to hurt him back, and he was upset that I finally stepped up and spoke up and raised up the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? And it broke my heart and it hurt me so bad, and I mean to this day. So when I say I'm not with it, I'm not with it. I'm not with the violence. I look. I will just walk away. My first wife knew what I went through. Oh, by the way, I was supposed to be a chef. Went to John Wales College. I don't know if you guys know who Emeril Lagasse was. I wasn't going to be the greatest chef or an Emeril Lagasse, but I was going to school to be a chef. And after that day, he stopped paying for my college. And that's what doing the right thing happened to me. I turned, and for doing the right thing, I paid the price, and I've never regretted it till this day. So when I say I'm not with the violence, I'm not with the violence. And my question was today, if I got hit in the brick, if I got hit in the face with a brick, would you come to my aid? And nowadays, I mean, nowadays, you know, we don't have, again, this is not an attack, but 90% of the young men, and I'm saying young because I'm 56, and these 90%, I mean, a good percentage of these men were not brought up by men. They were brought up by women that hate their baby's mama, their baby, their baby fathers, and I mean, they did, you know, they weren't brought up by a man. They weren't brought up to respect a woman. And first of all, the women nowadays, I don't, they didn't much respect us back in the day, but now it's ridiculous. And uh, there's no respect. And I would, I would at least, if you seen I was in an altercation, I would at least hope that someone would have dialed, like uh, like Michael Farmer said, dialed 911 really quick. And that's what I want to talk about today. There's a viral story going around about a TikToker, that I guess was at a club in Houston. And from what I hear, don't quote me on this. Houston is not a nice area. There's a lot of Houston, not a nice area. But the woman evidently, okay, and we let's just get this out the way. If from She's got a lot of stuff on her TikTok that a lot of people had said, well, she deserved. She deserved karma's a mother effer. She deserved what she got, and but that still that still don't make it right. That no one deserves to get a brick to the face. Okay, but here's the problem that I have with this. Unless whoever hit this person in the face with a brick, I'm not saying they was, but they might have been a sociopath or a real straight up, you know, murderer, or well, really a psychopath. But I've never seen, I've never seen a situation where, oh no, no, thank you, no, because evidently the guy was trying to get a number, and I've never seen a situation where, uh, someone would this would happen, and all they said was, no, thank you. Yeah, hey, baby, hey, mama, let me get your number. No, thank you. Bam, hit with a brick, and and people gonna get mad at me. Well, what did was this egged on? What was this mouthed off or whatever? And I'm even saying, look, if I got into an altercation, you know how back in the day, if you stepped on somebody's sneakers, boy, they kicks or whatever, and you tried to get away, like, look, I'm sorry, I apologize, hey, bro, I didn't mean it, blah blah blah. You try to get away, and something went down. I would hope that someone would have dialed 911. Because guys, you got to look at it this way, and especially nowadays in towns and cities like Houston. After the situation, the woman had said to these other guys, be a man. Why didn't you step in? Why didn't you step in? And one person, I don't know if this is true or not. The guy said, he was on TikTok and said, I was there and you were mouthing off to the guy. You were mouthing off to the guy. And see, unless you're John Claude Van Damme or someone like that, I mean, don't mouth. Why did you mouth off to these people? You know, I mean, I don't understand. No, and again, I'm just saying allegedly, and some other people were saying that that woman slapped this other guy earlier, or that was the guy, and there was another YouTuber that that kind of debunked that, and we got this notion that real men would have stepped in. Right now, I only know one crazy fool that would have probably stepped in. Would have been like, "Hey, man, hey, bro, that's not the way." And the guy would have probably turned towards him, and then it would have been a hot mess. But you know, we all are not. Most thugs aren't. They're children with guns. So or with people that don't or can't handle rejection. And a lot of times, and I'm sorry, you get mad, I'll lose subscribers. A lot of these folks, male or female, will start mouthing off in a situation where you shouldn't have been mouthing off. Now I'm playing devil's advocate because honestly, I would have walked away, got up out of there, would have went back, whatever. And I'm saying that to say this. You want to know why these other little boys, a little, and you could hear it when the woman, she's got, instead of dialing 911 to go to the hospital, why didn't you? She's yelling at these other black young black men. Why didn't you help me instead of going to the effing hospital for getting a brick to the face? Why didn't you help me? She want to know why they didn't help me. Well, why are you not going to the hospital? You see what I'm saying? Why you broadcasting? I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Look at this. It's okay. Now you're are you really? I mean, really? See, we do things and don't think there's no repercussions for this. There was there was there was a it was a while back. It's on YouTube. The woman was having an altercation with a black bus driver, and she spit. She just had enough, and she just didn't just spit like, ugh. She brought it back from New Jersey and spit on the guy. And again, I'm not saying that was right, but the guy, you can push someone so far that morals go out the door. And again, I'm not saying that a brick to the face is you push me so far that I hit you with a brick to the face. Something wrong with you that you got to pick up a brick and hit a woman. First of all, hitting a woman, period. But hitting anybody, period. Something's wrong with you. Okay. Now, could it be that this guy might have been, uh, a gang leader? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Could it be that this guy was because they said nobody said nothing. Nobody took a picture of the license plate of this car that this guy got into the car with. Was this guy a heavy hitter? See, if you're not from certain areas, there's certain people. I'm from Amityville. You knew there was certain people, Amityville, Long Island, New York. You knew there's certain people you just did not mess with or didn't say nothing to. There was certain areas that you didn't, even at night, you didn't walk through these certain areas because you did not have permission. So if this guy, whoever this guy was that hit this poor woman, and I'm saying that because she's still a woman. Who was this person? Did you even know? Did you even know? I'm not saying that even if you mouthed off, but see, I've been through that. I had an ex-wife that would do that to me. She knew that I had a limit, and I had something that I went through that I internally damaged me, and she fed off of it. She would get in my face, nose to nose, hit me. I know you want to hit me, you little bitch. Hit me. I dare you. Be a man, hit me. I mean, would get all in my face, and would see the tears in my eyes, and my fist balled up. But then I remembered that I never wanted to be like my father, who did that to my mother. Do you see what I'm saying? And again, this brought back. And again, so let's just get this out there. I'm not saying, and I'm not making excuses for it. It's appalling that you hit someone a brick to the dang on face. It's appalling. It's un. It's unimaginable. I don't understand that. A freaking brick to the freaking face. But then and there's no right in this whole picture. This person sitting there making more and more videos, more and more videos. I don't understand it. We done got so far into we done got so far into broadcasting 25 days, 7 days a week. I don't understand. You know, I mean, I'm a loss for words. But see, this is why. Now, if I would have saw this, I'd have been dialing 911. Hey, there's an altercation here, but he just hit her with a brick. I mean, I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there and putting my life because I'm not specially trained. I'm out of shape. I'm old. I don't have the gonads that I had 30 years ago. I'm out of shape. I'm old, and I don't. You're who are you that I need to die for you? I'm sorry because you got a brick to the face. I would probably get a couple of caps to my to the chest. Because if this person was so quick to hit you in the head with a brick, he would have unloaded on me. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is what happens when you go to these hood clubs in these areas where known, violence happens. And I'm not saying, well, you should be able to go everywhere. Yeah, you should. But certain areas, you're going to get yourself hurt. And what are you going to do then? I remember me and the Lanes, we went to this club, and Charles and them got there. We were running late, got there early before the security set up. Cause got there before security set up because he lives in a different situation and is trained in a different situation than I am. The reason why I have stuff. I'm not going to sit here and broadcast it on YouTube, and I'm not going to broadcast. I know of one thing, but I'm not going to. I have stuff, but my attitude is not the attitude of someone who should be walking around with a firearm. My attitude is, okay, what'd you say? That's my attitude. And then next thing you know, I'm in jail for life. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, I'm in jail for life. That's my attitude is that. But see, we as black men now don't no 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 don't get me wrong. This all goes out the door. Now all that I just said all goes out the door when it comes to the person I love. This all goes out the door to protect my mother and the person I love. But a lot of times you be wondering why nobody steps in when a woman gets abused because you knew, and I'm sorry, ladies, and this is not everyone. You know that woman's going back to that nigga. I'm sorry, the ninja. You know she going back to him. Because every time my mother got the crap beat out of her, she went back to my father. And I remember the last time it happened, she made me go back in there and apologize to him for fighting him for defending my mother. At that time, I lost a part of my soul. I lost a part of my soul when I had to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? I lost a part of my soul. So when you see that I'm happy and goofy, and I choose that because I've had a lot of pain in my life. I've had a lot of sorrow, and I've watched a lot of violence, and I don't like it. I never did. And again, I say this: that woman, no matter what that woman said, did not deserve to get a brick to the face. But you got to understand, ladies, especially when you in the hood and you in the hood situation, you cannot expect that people have the morals, that men have the morals of someone of 1967 or 1972, where you just get slapped. You got to understand this is a different time. These people out here are crazy. They will shoot you for no apparent reason nowadays. They will shoot you, and then people say, "Well, you used to have a gun too." Well, if you don't know the proper laws and you don't know when to pull a gun, and that you could wind up in jail for life too for an altercation. Charles had told me a story about a guy that was in prison, and he talks to a young cat, and he tells the guy, look around, with nothing but caged animals. This is not the place to be. This is not the place to be. Male and female, we walk around with so much attitude. We walk around with so much freaking attitude that we want to hurt everybody because we've been hurt. Hurt people hurt. And I'm not hurting them. How do you know? You see what I'm saying? How do you know? Hurt people hurt. And I ask this question again: if you seen an altercation, I got hit by with a brick. Now there's only one person in this, and there's only one person in this, and one person in this um, chat right now. I know would come to mind. I know for a fact. I know for a fact would step in. And one person is that, and that's my friend. And I needed. See, I talk about Charles a lot, but God put him in my life for a reason. A lot of times to toughen my ass up and bring me back to reality. But I know, because I remember one time my wife had said, "Hey, let's go, let, um, let's go to this country." I said, "Oh, heck no!" He said, "Well, just invite Charles and sit there. We'll be okay." And I just bust out laughing. And I said, "No, we're still not going, but that's funny as hell." you know, it is sad, and all, I'm not saying all, but something, I have to question, something was said to make this sociopath hit that woman with a brick. And instead of mouthing off, and it's just my opinion, do you think you should have got, okay, no thank you, I'm fine? Because you hear in a lot of these chats, there's stories of women that got abused, women, and I again, I repeat, I don't approve of the violence to women. I don't approve the violence to men, but I definitely don't approve the violence to women. But I don't approve the situations where you think you think the guy's a bitch and he ain't gonna do nothing, and you get in his face and try to uh, try to rile him up because you don't know male or female what sets a certain person off. That's why, like when I was going back to the guy in the jail, the old school guy, he said, "Look, just walk away, man. Is it worth the time that you end it? If you end someone's life, is it worth the time to be in jail for the rest of yours? Is it worth the time that our people are showing this violence in so many states, in Chicago, in Baltimore, in New York, in Miami, in the Carolinas, in California, in certain areas. We're showing this violence because that's all we know. And see, you ain't set someone off that it could be that they was in Desert Storm, they were, in Iraq or Iran or whatever, and they could have had flag. I'm not making excuses, but you don't know what this person stranger had. You don't know if that young man or that man was ever taught by another man to to deal with rejection. I remember I just reminded this. I remember when I was in the Navy, we would go to this club in I think it was Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And I was friends with this goofy white guy named Mark Harris. I mean, this guy was skinny, whatever. He would go into the hood bars and the hood clubs. He loved black music and black people. He just loved them to death, and he didn't give a flip. He would go, and this was the goofiest, geekiest dude. And everybody knew him. They would look at me like, "Who the hell for you?" You know. And we would on Saturday nights when we didn't have duty the next day. We would go out to these clubs and ask women to dance and would get rejected so much that we made it into a contest to see who. I don't believe I'm remembering this. This almost 20, uh, 30 years ago. This is almost 30 years ago. We would make this in a contest to see who would get rejected the most. And the one that got rejected the most had to buy the drinks. It made it into a joke. You know, it's one person has said, Why don't you have a fake number? Okay, give them a fake. Hey, let me give you that number. Or whatever. And I again, I don't do the clubs no more. I'm too old for that mess. I didn't even do them when I was young. I did it a little bit when I was younger. But I'm just saying, this no one deserved that. And this woman said some harsh stuff. Some harsh stuff that people would say that eh, you know karma's son of a and but it's still that still doesn't make it right. It's still wrong. And and see, this is what we when we go back to the I don't need anybody. I can bring up my son by myself. And see, this is the even though this is the harsh reality that these young men need a male figure. No, and stop saying, or what about the uncle or this one? No, they need their damn father to step in and put their foot up there. Yo, man, don't raise up on no woman. And if she raise up on you, you need to walk away, and you need to walk away and not come back. Be done with that person. If that person does not bring you peace, male or female, you need to be done with them. Let them know that you're not the one to be played with, and you're not a fool. See, because when we get together, oh, hormones are released that attaches us to people, and we that pain we don't want to release that pain. We don't want to let that pain last, so we go back, and that pain goes away, but a different pain arises because that person know I got him now, so I can do anything. I can act the fool. I can do what? I can cheat on you. I can do this. I can do that because you came back to me. No, you need to just go. You need to go. You don't need to take this. And see, we go out to what do you go? I remember I'm in my 40s. I remember, and I had, once again, before I met my wife, I had a really good friend, a female friend, platonic. There is such a thing. And I remember, because I'm old school, that's when I was younger. And I think it was either 40s, uh, early 40s, late 30s. And we went to the club, and there was a guy in there. He was, man, he was straight up. He he man, he was toasted, and he was toasted. And there was a group in the VIP section, and the drunk guy was on the dance floor, and he came up behind one of the young ladies that was in that section, and one of the guys came out of the VIP section with his boys, and with a bottle, man, went upside his head, and they commenced to whooping this guy's behind. And like I said, younger me, not knowing any better, I I was going to intervene because they were killing the dude. And my friend Keisha had told me to, you know, don't. And I stopped, and I said they had to watch it, but I stood in front of her and the people that were there to act as, a buffer zone so that mess didn't come our way. You know, we as men We are protectors, but we're protectors to our loved ones. We're protectors to our close friends. We are protectors to people that we care about. We want to be but protectors to every. Of course, I would want to be protectors to every all black women, but all black women at this point in time, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna sound harsh, but y'all don't deserve my protection. I'm hated by the world. I'm hated by so many people. I'm hated by I'm hated by the world. So why do you deserve my protection? You have broadcast that I'm not shit. I won't be shit. I will always be shit. So why do I need to protect everybody? Why do I need to put my life on the line because of an altercation? Now again, I'll dial 911 real quick. I will take a picture. I will nonchalantly zoom in and take a picture of the license plates when they come. Mr. Officer, sir, I was over here. Here you go. I'm not saying that I'm super ninja. I'm not saying that I have the qualities to step in and defend every African American woman. Now, if we grew up in a time where we stuck together, if we grew up in a time where we marched together, if we grew up in a time that we helped each other, if we grew up in a situation that we stood by each other in our neighborhoods, in our lives, and we helped grow our local businesses, if we stood by, if we all had afros and dashikis and said power to the people, none of this would have happened. But the selfishness that is born, and that's what happens. That's what splits. That's why we will never come together as a people. We will never come together as a country, because we put blacks against whites, whites against Spanish, Spanish. No, it's rich against poor. Think about it. It's rich against poor. Think about it. I live in an HOA. At first, I didn't like that damn place. It's none of their business how I do my house. Blah 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 blah. But I learned that in that they're looking out for the interests of the neighborhood, which is cockamamie 99.9% of the time. But I'm looking out to make my house better than all of y'all in the neighborhood, even though I keep on effing it up. But that's what I'm looking for. We as a people need to be looking to better our neighborhoods, better the county, better our supermarkets and our stores. You ever notice when you get a chance, because we always talk about bettering stuff. I can always tell what neighborhood I'm in by the Walmart if I go shopping. Health food is not in our neighborhoods because we don't buy it. Healthy food, healthy vegetables, seafood in our neighborhoods. It'd be what was that? Porgies, catfish, and crab legs. That's all you'll see in the seafood section in our neighborhoods. Not other fish in the sea or anything like that. Hey, boy, hey, Michael, Bob, I was talking about you earlier. You were right, and this is what I was trying to say. What you said earlier, I would have dialed 911. You're right. But the fact is, we put ourselves in these situations. We put ourselves. There should not be. We should be able to go to a club, have a few drinks, dance, and that's it. But what happens in the neighborhoods that a lot of us live in? The club is, they're selling drugs out in the parking lot. Um, you know, there's violence. There's violence inside the clubs. We got Big Bubba bouncer that he's just there to beat up everybody. You see what I'm saying? We don't we don't uplift our neighborhoods like our neighborhoods need to be uplifted. We're always talking about gentrification. Yeah, it's bad. But what did you do to clean up your neighborhood before folks came in and started changing stuff? What did you do to uplift your neighborhood? Did you vote the right councilman or the council person or the right senator or the right assemblyman? Did you vote the one that's going to bring and uplift your neighborhood? That's going to fix those potholes and fix and clean up the park so you can actually go walking in your park. There's certain parts of Atlanta I would deal with certain parks. I'd be strapped if I walked in there. But over where I live, I can go to certain parks and just be walking and exercising and like Wanda said, walking and talking. you know, why are our neighborhoods like that? Why is the violence like it is? And again, we go back to everybody says why didn't you step in? Was that guy by himself that hit that woman with a brick? Why did his friend say, "Hey man, don't hit her with a brick"? Hey man, don't hit a period. Walk away, bro. There is no there's no right in this situation. And people are saying that it's still again. I start to repeat. It's still wrong. You still don't hit nobody with a brick. Now, if your life is on the line, maybe but still, trust me. I'm running. I'm getting Fat Bubba and getting up out of here. I'm not, again, I don't repeat for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just like talking. So I'm not someone. I'm not a psychoanalyst. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not someone like that. I'm not that person. And some of us have that innate nature to jump in. Now, if I'm, hey, if I'm at the club and my boy Charles is getting it in, I got to step in, and I know him personally. I know he's not gonna raise up on a woman, but he will point his wife. He'll point to her, and she'll raise up on her. And then mine's gonna jump in, but that don't make it right either. We don't. That's the whole thing is we need to come together and stop all this foolishness. You see what I'm saying? We need to come together and stop all this foolishness. I wish I could read what y'all are saying, but as you see, I'm driving, and if y'all notice, I changed the camera, the camera's position a whole lot. I can't really be touching nothing, and I can't really be looking. Oh, I just see that. Yeah, hey, you're right. Stay out of my way. Oh, if I could get him to tell that story about him defending his son, oh my God. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'll have your back. If someone's coming from the wrong way, they'll get knocked. But other than that, I'll stay out your way. 'Cause be honest, I'm not a violent person. I can be. I don't want to be. I don't want to be because again, from if you don't know, go back to the beginning of the story I tell. It messed me up in my head. I don't approve of violence. It I'm still paying for that, and that's Jesus. I'm 56, so that was 40 years ago. It messed me up that bad. Yes, yes, yes. I need counseling. But the thing is, what I don't understand. Okay, I don't care how big I ever become. If I get hit with a brick to the face, I am not making videos of me with a brick to the face talking to anybody. I'm not, because I'm going to be in that hot with and the person that had a concussion. I'm not doing that, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just not. Y'all not going. Y'all, yeah. If I got, and I'm not doing it. I can't. No, no, no. I'm not doing it. I mean, this was a kind of a rough conversation, and I apologize if someone is offended. Um, because I meant no offense, but we need we need to stop the violence. If you guys have grandchildren, grandkids, grand whatever, start teaching them now, man, because they're our future. Our future's looking real bleak right about now. Our future's looking real bleak. Let me get out of this lane. I just noticed I'm in the. Let me get in the slow lane. Hey, let me get back in my lane. Our future, guys, is so bleak right now. If you ever get a chance, I believe I don't know if it's the last Terminator or it's the Terminator before that. There's a part where it shows social media and how, Skynet just took over everything. And a lot of everybody had, the stuff on their phones and all the stuff like we have right now. So something's coming. I don't know. Something's coming. Something's coming, and we need to. There used to be a time. There used to be a time where you had, grandma and grandpa, and you never heard them argue. You could never remember when did I've never heard grandma and grandpa argue. Because see, guys, you don't understand. These are learned traits. The violence that is out there, we learn that. If you grew up in a toxic household where you've seen nothing but violence, you learn, well, that's how I handle things, by violence. If you're in a neighborhood where you had to fight your way out. You had to fight your way to get to school. You had to fight your way in school. You had to fight your way to get home. That's all you know. And that's why these little kids, these little babies, I say babies, teenagers, are walking around with guns, you know, are walking around with guns because that's all they know. Jesus, hold on. Everybody's waking up now, and I gotta, come on, let me over. Let me over. I got out of the middle lane, now I gotta get back in it. Don't you just love it? Jesus. That's all we know. Um, I don't have an answer. I wish I could come to you guys this morning and say that I have an answer for the violence, that I have an answer for why this person got hit with a brick or whatever. I don't. And even if I had an answer, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. It will always be wrong. You know. And I'm not laughing because of that. I'm just it. Just thinking about this. We there's got to be a better way. You know what I mean? There's got to be a better way. When you have disagreements and hey, Charles, I gotta call you. You gonna crack up and say there's something I can tell you. There's something, I've learned the hard way. Certain things you don't put out on YouTube. You don't put out on social media. I'm that type of person that learned the hard way, you know. And everything don't come out here. But that's what I say, but what I bring up, I hope that maybe, just maybe, it'll help someone else. Maybe, just maybe, you'll see that, you'll see why I choose what I choose, and why I say what I say, and why I act like I act. Because, see, I look, nowadays, peace is important to me. You know, I find peace out here. I always wondered Charles, I say you was full of crap, but now I'm starting to understand what you say about driving at night. I think late night, but I don't think I could do late night. I do early morning. That's why we're out here talking right now. You know, I late night, I don't know, but you find peace out here. I laid in the bed and I'm stuck at 1029 right now. And the devil's working. He wasn't happy that I made it to this point, and I was kind of verbally attacked. Oh, what the heck? Oh, almost went the wrong way. And I, instead of retaliating it, and I did retaliate at first, but my spirit told me to show love. My spirit told me to show kindness because my spirit was telling me, did you, my spirit asked me the question, did you do what you were accused of doing? No. Then show the love that you've been talking about. And see, what we don't understand is love, showing that love goes a long way. It goes a long way, guys. And y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm being a little cryptic. I'm being a little cryptic. But I'm just letting it be known. This is the person. If you again go back to the beginning, you'll see what I'm saying. This is the person I choose to be. You know, I could have. Well, I do say this. You guys are my counseling couch, and it's more. What the heck? I hit a bump, and the check engine light comes on. Don't you just love it? Oh boy. Well, we'll see. Wonder what the heck that fault is, but I'm not gonna figure it out right now. I'm on. Ooh, Jesus! Like a lot of lights just came on. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I think I'm gonna have to cut this short and call breakdown. A lot of lights just came on. Oh, wait a minute. It said front airbag malfunction. What the heck? Look, front airbag malfunction. Like if I get in an accident on an 18 wheeler, I'm woo, oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it on this one. But let me let me go ahead and shut this down. I'm gonna have to call breakdown on this one. Jesus. What? Oh boy. Yeah, yo, all that just went away. See, that's the whole thing. When we for all you truckers or y'all driving a Volvo, I had a bump and all this stuff just went off, and now only one light's on. Oh, Jesus. What a piece of junk. What a freaking piece of junk. But oh Lord, I got the giggles now. I'm going to go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Um, Jesus, oh Lord, I just made my day. All these lights came on, scared the bejesus out of me, and then I hit another bump. I literally hit another bump, and five warning lights just went off. What a piece of junk. Okay, but if I said anything, I say this: if guys don't jump into altercations, if you're out in public, just dial 911. Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. Just dial 911 and explain to the operator what's going on, and you did your part. Just do that. So if you see me get hit with a brick, just dial 911 real quick. Say, please come in. Yeah, come, come help this fool. Come help this fool because they're killing him. He's screaming like a woman. I got hit with a brick. Y'all, come help this fool. Jesus, just come help this fool. But just know this: at this age, I'm not dumb enough to get myself in a situation like that. I'm just gonna freaking run. But the only difference is I know that if I'm with my wife, we ain't getting that far. I might have to fight. But I'm telling you, look, save yourself, run. If I say run, or if I'm in the if we are in we're in public and I say duck, ladies, if we are in public and I say duck, don't question me, just duck. Hit the deck. If I say hit the deck, you better drop to the floor. Don't question. Hit the freaking deck. It, it was. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. You know, over there in Las Vegas, where that guy started shooting all those people at that country music fest. There was one guy that grabbed his wife, picked her up, and body slammed her into a dumpster. He literally boxed her. And she was so upset. You threw me into the dumpster. Blah, blah, blah. Don't argue with. He threw her in the dumpster so she could be protected. He threw her in the dumpster to be protected. Be thankful later. You smell like behind and chicken fingers and whatnot, but he threw it in so she could be protected. Hey, 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 I forgot to say, got one of the big dogs in here. Hey, microfiber, hey, you're always welcome. Come on in. We be talking about foolishness and all kind of mess. And and just so you know, let's see where we at here. We have stuff like this happen on our thing. Or this one, this one. Oh, okay, let me stop because I'm swerving my truck. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out. I'm a loss for words. Can't even have a conversation anymore. Uh, just know again. Look, guys, don't raise up on a woman like this guy did. That wasn't right. No matter what she said or what she did not deserve a daggone brick to the face. Um, no one deserves that. And again, not making excuses for any violence or anything like that. If you thought I was saying that, you're completely wrong. Um, it, it's not right. It's never right, and we need to learn how to figure out a better way. Um, guys, as always, if you don't think nobody loves you, you just know that I love you. God loves you too. Y'all have a blessed day and see y'all tomorrow.